All right, let's dive into something really cool today. Daily routines. But not just anyone's routines. We're going to be looking at 2 English language instructors. Now you might be thinking, how is that interesting? But just wait. You'll see how they structure their days is really insightful. Especially for language learners like you. We've got these excerpts from their English learning podcast. We'll be pulling out useful phrases and looking at the cultural side of routines. And hey, maybe it'll even give you some ideas for your own schedule.
I think it's really fascinating how much you can learn about someone just by looking at their daily habits. And especially because these are English instructors, we get to see how they think about teaching and learning too.
Okay, so let's start with mornings. How do these instructors start their day? Well, one is up early, like 6:00. The other one likes to sleep in a little later, more like 7:00. But here's where it gets interesting. One starts with stretching. The other one makes their bed first thing. But they both talk about this feeling of being organized, like they're setting themselves up for a good day. Do you relate to that? I know I can't really function unless I have at least a little bit of order in the morning.
Yeah, and it's so interesting, even those small choices.
Yeah.
Like stretching or making the bed, it tells you something about their personality and how they use their time. It's like a tiny version of how they approach life.
Right. Then, of course, we have the bathroom routine, brushing teeth, showering, all that. But then it gets interesting again. At breakfast, one instructor is all about toast and coffee. Classic, efficient. The other one likes cereal and fruit. A more colorful start, you could say.
That could be cultural, right?
Yeah.
Maybe one breakfast is more common where they grew up. Or maybe it's just personal preference. I wonder how our breakfast choices reflect our culture or even our mood.
Never thought of it like that, but you're right. Okay, so after breakfast, it's time to get dressed and ready for work, which for them means getting ready to teach. It's back to the checklist. Each step gets them closer to feeling ready for their students.
That's interesting. There's actually research on the psychology of routines. They've found that even small routines can make us feel more in control and less stressed because they give our day a predictable structure. It's like building momentum, one small win at a time.
That makes sense. Okay, so now let's move on to their daytime activities. One instructor drives to work, the other one takes the bus and uses that time to read or listen to music. Makes you think about your own commute, right? Is it a time to get things done or relax, or maybe both?
Yeah, I think it depends on the commute. A long commute where you're not driving might be perfect for catching up on the news or listening to an audiobook. But a shorter commute, like this you're biking or walking, that might be better for just enjoying music or taking in the scenery.
Right. So once they get to work, they both settle into that familiar routine, checking emails, to-do lists, meetings. They even talk about how these things are pretty universal, no matter what your job is. But then they take us back to their school days. Remember morning assembly? They talk about their favorite subjects. One loved science experiments, hands-on stuff. The other one was drawn to English, the stories.
It's funny how those early interests kind of foreshadow their careers, like their love for those subjects led them to teaching English, almost like their career path was shaped by those experiences.
It's true. And of course, no school day is complete without recess. That universal time for kids to just let loose and connect with friends makes you realize that even as adults, we need those breaks too, right? To recharge and socialize.
Yeah, definitely. That unstructured time is so important, whether you're a kid or a grown-up.
Okay, so next up is lunchtime. One instructor brings their lunch from home. The other one goes out to eat with colleagues.
That's interesting. It shows how routines can reflect our priorities. One values having control over their food and the health benefits, like bringing a little bit of home to work. The other one sees lunch as a social thing, a chance to connect with people, and maybe practice their English in a casual way.
It really shows how even something like lunch can tell you so much about someone, their work-life balance, their social needs. I love how these little details give us such insights. Okay, so as the afternoon starts, we see more work, more classes, and a little bit about their extracurricular activities. One instructor was in the drama club. The other one played soccer. A classic combo. Makes you think about your own after-school activities, right? And how they shaped you.
Yeah, extracurriculars are so important. For growing as a person, you get to explore your interests, learn new skills, and make friends outside of school.
Totally. They add a whole other dimension to your school experience.
For sure. And as the workday ends, we see both instructors shifting into relaxed mode, changing into comfy clothes, unwinding with TV or music, like they're creating a ritual to signal to their mind and body that it's time to chill.
It is so important to have that separation between work and personal time. And speaking of personal time, let's talk about dinner. Both of these instructors love to cook at home. One likes pasta dishes, salads, chicken. The other one goes for stir fries, soups, baked dishes.
Interesting how their cooking styles seem to match their personalities. One is more about classic comfort food. The other one likes trying different flavors and cuisines.
You're right. Like, their food choices are an extension of who they are. What about you? Are you a home cook? Or do you like ordering takeout?
Both have their perks. Sometimes you just want the convenience of takeout and the variety. Other times, nothing beats a home-cooked meal. I guess it comes down to time, resources, and how much you enjoy cooking itself.
So true. Okay, so after dinner, one instructor likes to go for a walk, just a peaceful walk. The other one uses that time to connect with family and friends, the ones who live far away. It's sweet to see how they prioritize those relationships, even when they can't be together in person.
It is important to maintain those bonds, no matter the distance. Even in our busy lives, we can always find ways to nurture those relationships.
Okay, so to wrap up this part of their routine, let's peek at their bedtime rituals. They both prioritize hygiene, setting their alarms, and tidying up a bit before bed. One likes to read, the other one listens to music, but they both emphasize how important it is to stick to a sleep schedule.
Those pre-sleep routines are key for telling your body it's time to unwind, and a regular sleep schedule helps regulate your natural sleep-wake cycle, which can really impact your energy and how you feel overall.
Totally. A good night's sleep is essential. And with that, we've covered a full weekday in the lives of these English instructors. But don't go anywhere. We're about to explore their weekend routines, which are packed with fun activities and special events.
Weekends. That time to recharge and enjoy things. It's interesting to see how these instructors switch from their weekday routine and how they use their free time.
And what better way to start the weekend than sleeping in? Both instructors wake up later on Saturdays, just enjoying that relaxed feeling, like hitting the reset button after a busy week.
It really shows how important it is to prioritize rest, especially these days when everything's so fast-paced. We need those moments to pause so we can be our best selves.
Right. And after all that sleep, it's time for a special breakfast. We're talking pancakes, omelets, maybe some bacon and eggs. Definitely a step up from those weekday breakfasts.
It's like a ritual, to mark the start of the weekend. A bigger breakfast sets the tone for a day of fun.
Love it. Like telling your brain, time to relax and have some fun. And speaking of fun, these instructors have different ways of spending their Saturday mornings. One likes to read or watch shows. The other one likes to go for a jog or do yoga.
It shows how different people relax. Some people like quiet time and mental stimulation. Others need to move their bodies. It's all about doing what feels good for you.
For sure. But even on weekends, we all have those errands to run, right? Grocery shopping, banking, dry cleaning, all those little things that need to get done.
It's about finding balance, I think.
Yeah.
Even during your free time, balancing responsibilities with fun things, so those errands don't take over your whole weekend.
Yeah, we've all been there. When your weekend plans get ruined by a pile of laundry or a trip to the DMV, it's all about finding that sweet spot.
Exactly. But once those errands are done, it's time for some real weekend freedom. One instructor gets into creative things like painting and gardening. The other one plays guitar. It's inspiring to see them enjoying their hobbies, those things that bring them joy.
It makes you wonder what hidden talents you might have. Maybe it's time to try something new.
You never know. You might discover something you love.
And of course, no weekend is complete without spending time with friends. Both instructors make sure to connect with their friends, whether it's for lunch, coffee, playing basketball, or even a game night.
It just shows you how important social connections are. Those shared experiences, the laughter, the support, it all helps us feel connected and deal with life's ups and downs.
Absolutely. There's something special about being with people who get you, just letting loose and being yourself.
Exactly. Now, as Saturday evening comes around, one instructor likes to try new restaurants or go to a movie or a concert, while the other one prefers staying in, maybe reading a book, cooking a nice meal, and hanging out with close friends.
Interesting how their Saturday nights are kind of like their personalities. One is looking for new experiences. The other one finds comfort in familiar things.
This shows there's no right or wrong way to relax. It's about finding what recharges you, what makes you feel content.
So true. And then Sunday morning arrives, a time for calmness and reflection. Both instructors start their day with a relaxed breakfast, and then they spend some time planning for the week ahead.
That's a smart strategy. Planning ahead can help you feel less stressed as you go back to the work week. It creates a sense of order and purpose.
It's like getting a head start on Monday.
Right. But even with planning, those Sunday chores are still waiting. Cleaning, laundry, changing the sheets, all those things that help us start the week fresh.
I think we can all relate to that feeling of satisfaction when your space is clean and organized. It's like clearing your mind too.
Yeah, our environment can really affect how we feel. A clean space can make you feel calm and focused, while clutter can make you feel overwhelmed.
So true. Okay, chores are done, plans are made, time for some outdoor fun. One instructor goes hiking, enjoying nature. The other one goes for a bike ride, getting some fresh air and exercise.
Spending time in nature is so good for you. It reduces stress, boosts creativity, and makes you feel more peaceful. It's like hitting the reset button for your mind and body.
I agree. There's something magical about disconnecting and just being in nature.
It reminds us that sometimes the simple things are the most powerful.
As Sunday evening comes to an end, both instructors have a simple dinner and some quiet time before bed. Maybe reading a book or listening to music, easing back into that weekday routine and getting ready for a new week.
It's like slowly transitioning from the weekend back to daily life.
And now get ready for some excitement as we dive into the world of special events and holidays. From birthdays and weddings to national celebrations and family gatherings, we'll see how these instructors add some sparkle to their routines. All right, so we've covered their daily and weekly routines. But now let's talk about the fun stuff, the special occasions, the celebrations. How do these instructors make those days special?
It's interesting to see that shift, right? From the everyday routine to something more exciting, like adding some color to their lives.
Yeah, it's like those moments become these bright spots in their schedule. First up, birthdays. One instructor loves a classic birthday party at home with family and friends, cake, presents. It's nice to see them enjoying that tradition.
Birthdays are so personal, right? They reflect our own preferences and our culture. For this instructor, it seems like it's all about creating a warm atmosphere
Right.
where everyone can come together and have fun.
Yeah, like creating a little bubble of happiness. The other instructor likes to go out for dinner to a nice restaurant, maybe do some dancing afterward. It sounds fun.
It shows how adaptable routines can be. Even special occasions can be adjusted to fit different personalities and preferences.
And they both mentioned some nice traditions, like making wishes before blowing out candles and giving handmade cards. Those little things add so much meaning.
Absolutely. Those rituals connect us to the past and make these moments even more special.
Okay, birthdays are fun, but let's talk about weddings. One instructor described a beautiful garden ceremony, followed by a reception with dancing, good food, and speeches.
Weddings are all about celebrating love, right? This instructor's description really captures that. The beauty and joy of two people coming together.
Sounds lovely. The other instructor went to a more traditional wedding with cultural rituals, colorful outfits, and music.
It's a good reminder that weddings, while they're about love, they're also influenced by culture and beliefs. Those unique elements make each wedding special.
Right. Each wedding tells a story. Okay, now let's move on to holidays. One instructor loves Independence Day, with all the barbecues, fireworks, and patriotism.
Holidays remind us of shared values and history. They give us a chance to connect with our community and celebrate what unites us.
It's like taking a moment to appreciate where we come from. The other instructor is more into New Year's Eve, with the idea of new beginnings, resolutions, and a fresh start.
It shows our desire for change and growth. New Year's Eve is a time to let go of the past and embrace the future.
I like that. A chance to hit the reset button. Okay, so we've talked about birthdays, weddings, and holidays, but let's not forget about festivals. One instructor loves music festivals, with live bands, food stalls, and that energetic atmosphere.
Festivals are a great way to immerse yourself in something you love. Whether it's music, food, art, or culture, they create a sense of community and shared experience.
Like everyone's connected by this shared passion. The other instructor prefers food festivals, trying different dishes from local chefs, and there's even a seafood festival by the beach.
Food festivals celebrate culinary creativity and bring people together through food.
Sounds delicious. All right, last but not least, family gatherings. One instructor loves big family reunions with games, potlucks, and lots of laughter.
Family gatherings, planned or unplanned, give us a sense of belonging. They're a chance to strengthen relationships, share stories, and make memories.
It's those moments that create family history. The other instructor enjoys gatherings during the winter holidays, with all the traditions of food, gifts, and spending time together.
Those gatherings often reflect our values and traditions. They create a feeling of warmth and connection.
And that brings us to the end of our journey, exploring the routines of these English instructors, from the everyday to the extraordinary.
It's been fascinating to see how their routines shape their lives, how they find balance, connection, and joy.
As we wrap up, we encourage you to think about your own routines. What do they say about you? Your values, your goals, your dreams? What changes could you make to create more balance, happiness, or connection in your life?
Remember, there's no right or wrong way to live your life. It's about finding what works for you, embracing your own rhythm, and filling your days with things that nourish your soul.
We hope this deep dive has inspired you to see routines not just as tasks, but as opportunities to shape your life, to connect with others, and to create a life that truly reflects who you are.
And remember, it's a journey. Keep experimenting, keep learning, and keep searching for those routines that bring you purpose and fulfillment.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time. As we explore another fascinating aspect of the human experience,